Narayanam namaskritya naram chayam devim saraswatim Dasam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, beginning from verse 13. This is the description of Prahlad. And we read how when he was asked by his father that what is the best thing he knows, and he said to take shelter of Krishna. And then his father freaked out completely because he never expected anything like this from anybody, especially from his own son. So therefore he called the teachers, and he thought that maybe these teachers are teaching him, or some enemy has come and spoiled my son. So he told the teachers to take him away and fix his mind. So what they call him? What are those people? In America they have a group of people. Deprogrammers. So they had to deprogram him because he's brainwashed. So they brought the teacher, they brought him, and then they were asking him that from where he got this knowledge. We didn't teach you. So how did you come to know about all this? So then he started giving philosophical answer, which was very surprising to the teachers, and they were already getting agitated by hearing this. So now he says, Saesha Atma Swaparetya Buddhibhir Duratyanu Nirupyate Mahiyanti Yadvartmani Vedavadino Brahmadiyo Hiyesha Dhanatyamemati. Because the question was asked that who has spoiled your intelligence. So he is saying that it is God who has spoiled my intelligence. So there is no one else who can spoil me. I am spoiled, yes, but I am spoiled by that very God, by whose Maya these people are thinking this is mine and this is yours. So the same person who is putting the people in illusion, and because of that people do not have proper understanding. So same God has spoiled my intelligence. And why does he not spoil everyone's intelligence? So he says that is only possible if one surrenders to him. So he says, yes, anukramano nirupyate, that those who take shelter of him, then their intelligence becomes fixed on him, and others they remain confused. Mayanti yadvedavadino yadvartmani vedavadino brahmadi. Even people like Brahma, those who study the Vedas, even they are not clear about it. So in other words, what he is saying is that it is not anyone's job, and therefore don't try to waste your time that you want to find out if somebody is coming and preaching to me and trying to unsettle my mind, or some enemies are coming. There is nothing like that. He says it is God himself who has done it. So Vishnu Chakravarti says, Ukta Laksham Pashu Buddhimatam Sudargaya Ityaha Sahita. So he says that those people who have intelligence like an animal, as was explained in the previous verse, they cannot understand it because they don't have the brain to think beyond their own material conditioning. Whatever they think, their thought process becomes very limited. So therefore he speaks this. Esha Paramatma Swaha Swapaksha Paro Vipaksha Iti Kutsita Buddhi Esham. So Esha, he says, is Paramatma, the Supreme God or Supreme Lord. So he says that those people who have improper intelligence, they cannot understand. Durgamam Anukalmanam Anusaranam Yasya, because they cannot follow God and therefore they remain confused. Nacha Subuddhibhi Shastragye Sugmameva Tadu Anusaranamitiya Vacham. And it is also not that those people who have good intelligence or those who study Shastras, they may also know, because even they may be confused. It's only when someone has the grace of God or his devotees, then one can understand this. So Bhakti Yoga Vedvadino Vedarth Tatparya Vivechka Api Mehanti. So those who try to study Vedas without devotion, they also don't understand. That's why in India most people, they are not very clear. Now they study Shastra, but ultimate conclusion is in some impersonal energy or something. So that's what he is saying. Yuyam tu gyan lav durvidagdha kimuta iti bhava. In other words, he is saying that as far as you are concerned, you are also very proud of your knowledge. You think you are great teachers, but actually you do not have the proper understanding. ऐसा भगवान में मतिर भिन्नति युष्मन मतिभ्य सकाशाद भिन्नाम करोति. So this God, this Lord, he has only brainwashed me, which means he has made my intelligence different from your intelligence, my thought process different from your thought process. So my desire, my resolve, my goal is different than yours. So he is being very straightforward, and that's why he will get into trouble. यथा भ्राम्यति अयो ब्रह्मन् स्वयमाकर्ष सन्निधौ तथा मे भिद्यते चेतस चक्रपाणेर्यदिच्छया. So just like there is a piece of iron and it is close to magnet, then it becomes immediately attracted to the magnet, and it can revolve around the magnet, and the fan works on the same principle. It's basically electrical energy which converts into magnetic energy, and it keeps on changing its poles, so then the things are rotating. So he said, just as magnet is attracting iron, like that Krishna is attracting my mind. So it is natural. There is nothing I can do about it. Just as magnet has the natural characteristic to attract the iron piece, and iron has the natural characteristic to be attracted by the magnet, in the same way my mind has been captured by Krishna, Chakrapane Yadachaya, and this is by his own will. It is not by my choice, therefore I am helpless, basically. That's what he is saying. He says you can do whatever you like to do, but it is not going to change. सैव मतेर भेदः किम आकारयति चेत् तत्र यथा अयो लोहम् आकर्षस्य अयस्कान्तस्य सन्निधौ स्वयं भ्राम्यति. So he said, just like the magnet attracts iron, Magnet in Sanskrit has a good name. It is called Ayaskanta. Ayas means iron and Kanta means lover. So magnet is called the lover of iron, like a boyfriend of iron. Good name. So it immediately attracts. So Swan Brahmati. So just like if you love somebody, then you want to be around that person. So like that, iron just hangs around the magnet. So he says, like my mind is just attracted to Krishna, and therefore it always is fixed on that. What can I do? Swameva brahmati bhidyate yasmachetobhya sakashat bhinnam bhavati. And therefore my mind, my thought is different from your mind and your thoughts and your desires. Natra satkarma tapodana danader hetutvam sambhava. He says it is not happening because of some reason of that I did some good karma, or I did some charitable work, or I did some penance. There is nothing like that. This is not an outcome of any of these things. Ayamartha, the sense is this: ayaskantena swashaktya eva loham akrishya swasanyukti kriyate. So just as the magnet by its own power, it pulls the iron and becomes united with it. So the iron becomes united with the magnet. Tatra kimapi karanam prayojanam cha nasti. So there is no cause behind it. Not that iron, this particular iron has done some specific work to become attractive, and that this iron is very special. Or it comes from a special place, or it belongs to some special person. And the magnet has no purpose in doing it. It's not that magnet achieves something by pulling the. So it's just the nature. This fire has the nature to burn. Like that, magnet has the nature to attract iron. Ayaskantasya svabhava eva yatha tathaiva chakrapaneraphi svabhava eva yam yat kripa parvastaya svabhaktasya chetsaha swasmin akarshanam. So he says that Krishna also has this nature that by his grace or his compassion on his devotee, he attracts the mind of devotee. And when he attracts the mind, then devotee has no choice. He says, Tatra mama kim swatantram asti iti. So he says, what is my independence? I am not independent. I am not free. So just as in the material world, people are not free, although they think that they have freedom. But they are under the control of Maya. And Maya is making them do things. Like that, devotee is also not free because he is controlled by God. God's love attracts him. So therefore no one really has freedom. Only thing is that you have a choice whether you want to be under the control of Maya or you want to be under control of God. You want to be under control of God's love, or you want to be under the influence of Maya. This is the choice we have. There is no other free will. People think we have free will, but actually free will is only for this purpose. Otherwise free will has no other purpose. And it has no other meaning actually. So when they heard this, then they became very angry. So Narada said, Etad Brahmana Brahmana yuktva virarama mahamatihi tam nirbhatsa thakupita sadino rajasevaka. So that great learned boy, Prahlad, after speaking this to his teacher, then he kept quiet. So he didn't say much, he just said this truth. So then this teacher, who was actually a servant of the king and thus was in a very pitiable condition because he was not free, so he became very angry because he realized that now his job is in trouble, his life is in trouble, and he can be fired. So he can be shown pink card that take leave, you are spoiling my son, I will find some another teacher for him. So he did not want to lose that, so he became very angry and he was chastising Prahlad. So Rajasevaka Vachiti Shesha, and then he spoke as follows: Aniyata mare vetram asmakam ayasaskaraha kulangarasya durbuddhes chaturthasya udito damaha. So out of anger he said, is there someone here? Bring my stick. But in the olden days, teachers, they used to also have a stick for the unruly children. So he says, bring my stick, bring my stick. I have to fix this boy. And from where has he taken birth in this nice family? And he's going to bring infamy. He's stupid. And the only thing which can fix him is the fourth one. Because there are 4 ways to deal with people according to polity, Indian polity. First is Sama, lovingly, kindly, friendly manner you speak and try to get your job done. And if that does not work, then you give some gift, daan, some offer some money, bribe. And if that also does not work, then bheda. You try to create some disturbance in the mind of the person or put some people against him. And if that also does not work, then beat the hell out of him. That is the last one. Because what else can you do? So they tried. They first spoke with him nicely and maybe gave him a chocolate also. But please tell, but it did not work. So now the only thing which remains is the rod. So they say that spare the rod and spoil the child. So they thought that now we have to use the 4th means, danda. This is called danda. Danda means stick. So this is called dandaniti. One of the part of polity or rajniti is punishment. And different people have to be punished. Because without punishment, nobody really listens. There are only 2 ways, like this, a carrot and stick. Right? So either you give the carrot, and when that does not work, then you whack the guy with the stick. So they tried the first one, and it didn't work. So that is the next one. So the 3rd one is love. For children, there are only 2 ways. Right? Therefore parents are always doing that if you do like this, then I will buy this for you. Right? And if you don't do that, then you don't get to watch the television. or we will not take you on the holiday. So some kind of punishment. So this is how people are controlled. Animals are also controlled like that. That's how they train animals, that you give some food. Once monkey is doing something, you give some food, so he get used to that. Or rat is trained like that. Like the two rats, they were in the laboratory, and once they came together, they were talking. Because two different professors were doing experiment with the rats. So they were asking to each other, how is your professor treating you? So the other rat, he answered that after a long time, I have trained him that whenever I ring the bell, he brings food for me. So this is the two techniques which are used in the world, and beyond that is actually the love. Love is beyond all this punishment and giving a prize. That is just a way of bribing. This way the person does not really become one with you. Either the person is doing out of fear, or he is doing it because of some motive, but not that he or she really loves to do it. So this is the karma theory. This is the principle of karma. That you do good, you get good result, you do bad, you get bad result. And beyond karma yoga is bhakti yoga. So that is for intelligent people. Karma yoga is for less intelligent people. Bhakti yoga is for super intelligent people. That's why the word used here for Prahlad was Mahamati. It says Etad Brahmana Yutva Virarama Mahamati. Maha means great, Mati means intelligence. So one who had great intelligence, that Prahlad, he stopped. Because this is the intelligence. Esa buddhimatam buddhi manisha cha manishanam. The real intelligence in this world is that you have this temporary body, and anything you do with it will be temporary. But you can do bhakti and get the permanent result. So therefore Krishna says this is real intelligence. So those who are supremely intelligent people, they perform bhakti. Yajanti hi sumedasa. Right? Yajna hi sankirtane praye. Yajanti hi sumedasa. Bhagavatam says that those who are sumedasa. Medha means intelligence. So those who are sumedasa, who has real fine intelligence, they do bhakti. They take to bhakti marga. That is what Prahlad is also. He already said it, and he will say it again very clearly. So now the teacher, he was really upset, and he decided to beat him up. And this fellow does not listen. So that is the story here in the material world, that most people do not appreciate bhakti. They are against it. The whole society is actually against bhakti. You are explaining with children, you try to teach them something in the house. When they go to school, they hear just the opposite of that. The whole education system is against bhakti, against surrender, against devotion. So that is the society. So it's not appreciated, because people manda sumandamati, manda bhagya upadati. That in Kali Yuga, in this present age, people are very dull-headed. Although they think that they are very smart, especially the new generation thinks that they are very smart, and these oldies, they have no brain. But the standard of intelligence is if you take to Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise your intelligence has no meaning, it is useless, it's only going to put you in trouble. That's all. You will run around like a crazy fellow and get into some trouble. So that is the story. So like when somebody was talking about the difference between a married person and unmarried person. So what is the difference between a married person and unmarried person? So he says that the only difference is that one who is not married, he runs around and gets into trouble. One who is married, he gets it in one place only. So the thing is that if one is not a devotee, then one is in trouble, whether married or unmarried doesn't matter. Because your mind, your intelligence is only going to create trouble for you, that's all. So now these teachers, they were also like modern day teachers who are not devotees and cannot appreciate somebody being a devotee. So same problem, as you are saying, the child is going to school and he is a devotee, the teachers want to fix his brain and make him non-devotee. So therefore he says, bring my stick, bring my stick. The stupid fellow, now he deserves to be beaten up. So Dateya Chandan Vane Jatoyam Kantaka Drumaha Yanmulo Mula Parusha Vishnu Nalayitor Bhakaha says that this dynasty of Diti, Hiranyakashipu and his family, this is like a forest of sandalwood. Sandalwood is very precious wood. So it grows in some forests in South India. So he says this family is like forest of sandalwood. And Prahlad, he is like a thorny tree. Like here in Vrindavan, we have a lot of trees and big thorns. And not only that, Vishnu is like the axe and Prahlad is like the handle for that, made from this thorny tree. So he says, therefore he says, Durbuddho, Durbuddh, Vishnu Nalayito Arbhaka, Yanmulo Mula Parasho, Vishnu Nalayito. Because he is singing the songs about Vishnu, Krishna. So that is the thing which cuts, but for cutting the tree you need a handle, and the handle is made by Prahlad. So he is going to cut the dynasty, the very same family in which he is born. So the very same forest of sandalwood tree is cut by an axe which has the handle of thorny tree. But they don't make handle from the sandalwood tree. So they make a handle. Here also the handles are actually made from these trees which have thorns on them. So Vetram Praharanam Dandu Vishesha Yadayam Ayaskaraha Tatoyam Durbuddhairupayanam Madhya Chaturtho Damodanda Udita Ukta Shastresa. So he says that he needs to be beaten up because in the Shastra, they are going according to the book. So he says according to Shastra, such people, they should be just beaten up. Because they don't listen. यस्य वनस्य मूलने परशु स्थानीयस्य विष्णुर नालायितो दंडस्थानीय लोके ही परशुर दंडो बरबुड़े सिद्ध से कंटकी द्रुम. So he says Vishnu is like the axe and he is the handle of that axe. So we have to do something. इति तं विविधोपाय भाष्यंस्तर्जनादिभिः प्रहलादं ग्राहयामास त्रिवर्गस्य उपादानम्. So in this way, by different means, sometimes by scaring him, sometimes by chastising him, they made him learn Trivarga. There are 4 Purusharthas for human life: Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So first 3 are for the materialists, 4th one is for the spiritualist. So they trained him in the first 3, Dharma, Artha, Kama. Nothing about Moksha. So that's what they did. And then what did they do? But then they thought that now when we have trained him, so let's take him to Hiranyakashipu, so that he understands that we have deprogrammed him. So tatayenam gurur gyatva gyatageya chatuštayam Datyendram darshiyamasa matrimrishtam malankritam. So when they understood that Prahlad, he has learned Sam, Dama, Danda, Bheda, these 4 things, and he has become expert in it, and this is what they were trying to teach him. So they first took him to the mother, and mother made him dress up nicely with beautiful ornaments, and then they brought him to the king, Hiranyakashipu. But now Hiranyakashipu will be happy to see his son being trained by us, and then he will get some prize. So this is what they tried. So Prahlad, he was very well behaved. That was his nature, very humble. So when he came in front of his father, then as is the custom, says Padayo patitam balam pratinandya ashishasura pariswajya siram dorgha paramata nirvriti. So Prahlad came and immediately he touched the feet of his father, gave him respect. And then Hiranyakashipu was so happy that my son is so nice, well behaved, and he blessed him. And then he embraced him with his arms, and he was so blissful. Aropyankama vagraya murdhanyashra kalambubhi asinchan vikshadvaptram nidamahai dhishtara. So he took him in his own lap and he sat down, and then he was smiling his head as a sign of love, and there were tears in the eyes. So even the most cruel people, they have some softness for somebody. Even the mafias, or even the serial killers,